Welcome to the Life Force Power Center. I am your host and your facilitator for the Life Force Power Center. I'm the Jahm Master Jedi, um, and this is the beginning of the Power Center, Life Force Power Center, and the Life Force Power Temple, where we will be training all the Life Force energy arts and metaphysical, physical arts, and transcendental arts and quantum arts, everything dealing with your life force energy and life force energy power that permeates our being, our physical being, and external being, and our inner being. And our job here is to give you a place, give you a facility where you could train and you could fuse these things together and become as superhuman or as super being as possible with this knowledge. And our motto is applied knowledge is power. Knowledge is not power by itself, but only the application of knowledge is power. So, applied knowledge is power, and that is what we will be working with. That is what I train with. I've been doing Power Force martial arts for over 12 years now, and it's been supremely awesome. I've gotten out of major religions. I got away from standard martial arts. I got away from just different systems that served me to a point, to a plateau. And it had that effect where I had to graduate, I had to evolve because there was something more. There was a lot missing from all of these systems, whether it be religious or spiritual or martial arts or physical. So with that, when I graduated from those, I found this power force. I found this system, this amalgamation of using life force energy itself, going right to the source of life force energy without any mediator. Of course, you can have energy guides, power guides, so forth, that can help you translate this knowledge and this power. But at the end, it's really you. It's really you applying that, understanding that. And when you're dealing with universal life force power and multiverse life force power, then you're dealing with this application of that once you understand it, and fusing all those things together to bring into this present reality that you hear, that you're seeing this, bring this into this present reality so you can actually live it, breathe it, have a tangible existence of this power, and show that. So you're not no longer praying to invisible deities or invisible things, hoping that it may bring fruition into your life. Now you are meditating, you are aligning yourself with the truth of what energy is, and understanding that and bringing that down and transmuting that energy with focus into this plane of existence where you could create the reality and the outcomes you desire, no longer just wandering through life, getting lucky, or praying to deities, hoping this happen, hoping that happen, but making conscious, clear decisions on how things are and how you choose things to be based on your individual circumstances and collective circumstances. We have to deal with the consciousness and the creation of the collective, because even though they have different belief systems and different understandings and some minimal at all, they collectively create, it's like a percentage of reality. Certain people believe this, or certain people believe that. And then universal law, which is the premise of how we understand this life force energy, is we observe universal law. And universal law will dictate a measured outcome based on a percentage ratio of the majority and a percentage ratio based on your individual effort and intention. And your power and intention is the one that drives your immediate circle, your immediate outcome, your immediate being, as well as your recycling outcome. And when I say recycling, is when we lose these bodies, our life force energy goes back to the source and it recycles. And as it goes back to the source, everything we did in this carnation of life, we have to experience. Like you experience taste, you can't see it. You experience love, you can't see it. You experience pain, you can't see it, but you experience it and you feel it. And it's just as real as anything else. But you still can't see it. You can't actually touch pain or smell or taste, but you know it's there. And that is in sorrow as well as happiness. Those are the feelings and emotions that go with you when you leave this body. Those are the things that stay with you. And everything of that energy that you put out in this present and every other time that you came, that you incarnated, you have to experience that basically like this present life form, you experience it. You come back again, try to make corrections, try to do better, try to experience things on a higher level. Or if you did a lot of things on a darker level, you might come back with a more challenging life, a more challenging recycling, just so you can experience what it's like to cause harm to the people that you cause harm to in the other incarnation. This is why there's so much justice under universal law. Universal law does not make a mistake. If you're dealing with God and deities and other things like that, that's a different subject. Universal law is what dictates and puts out the reality, the predicted outcome. No matter what you believe, universal law has a predicted outcome. Universal law does not care what deity or how you believe it or how you express it. It only has an outcome, a predictable outcome based on what you do, what you put out. And this is observable facts and principles. These are not things you have to read and believe. Spiritual communities and religious communities are based on believing mediators and hoping these things happen and praying for these things to happen. That is the level that those things are on, and if that's who you are, then that's fine. Use what you have to use until you get to what you need. But when you're dealing with universal law, you're dealing with power force, you're dealing with life force energy, then you are applying this knowledge with predicted outcome, with predictive understanding of how things are. It's like why we use martial arts. When someone comes at you a certain way, you know you can apply a certain move, you're going to have a predictable outcome. And then you have a little window where there's a fork in the road where they choose the next move, and then you do another move and you have another predictable outcome from the move you choose based off the move they make. So you have to be flexible to some point, but you have to be ready to make a move either way, depending on what's coming to you. Just like life, whatever comes to you, you may not be able to stop what comes to you, but you may be able to deflect it or redirect it based on understanding how universal law works. So you'll have a different outcome than a person just saying, oh, God, somebody help me with this situation, and meanwhile they get ran over by the train or the truck while they sit there praying, you know. That's the way it is. Universal law does not care, does not play favorites, whether you're a child or adult. If you walk off a building, gravity will have its way. Don't care what you did in your life, it will have its way, and you will hit the ground and experience that pain of hitting the ground. Now, with universal law, you see a building, you don't walk off of it knowing there's gravity. You get an elevator or some stairs and you take those because you know the stairs have a predictable outcome. And just like I say this, there's people thinking, trying to make jokes, oh, well, what is this, what is that? Well, see, you put yourself in a paradox when you start playing word games and word paradoxes. So all you do is you tie yourself in a knot and you impede yourself from doing anything because you're too busy tying words and theories and what if this, things and scenarios that don't apply to just practical laws. You can experience that psychological paradox and semantical paradox with words and meanings, or you could take the basic understanding, basic words, basic principles, apply that, have a great life, apply that, build your life, build your wealth, build your health, build your joy, build the things that you could build and move forward and evolve to other things and enjoy other things other than playing paradoxical words. So it's all predictable. I can predict this, I can predict that based on what the universal law says and what the moves and actions are coming to me because they have an understanding of a certain outcome. And the more you do this, the more you understand universal law, then the more better you could get at predicting and understand how things work. And the more you can apply into your life. And this is the beauty of it. Universal law doesn't care. You can grow as much as you want, as fast as you can, high as you want to go. It's all on you. It's all on what you're able to do, what you're able to apply, what you're able to put into it. You could study a lot of the Buddhist monks and how they apply universal law and the chi energy and so forth. Look how they are able to do these miraculous things through focus and practice and practice. You know, if you want to go there and be that, that's who you are. And if you just want to live in the city and so forth and have enough to enjoy your life here and to go dancing and enjoy life, that's fine too. You know how you treat people, it's going to eventually come back to you in this life form instantly, or down the road, or in the next incarnation. Because universal law, like I said, plays no favorites. No one gets off the hook. No one gets away. No one gets scot-free, even though it may seem that they are. You don't have to trust me. You could observe just in life on why some things are happening to certain people. And you say, what did they do to deserve this? What did they do? Well, the answer is you have no idea what they did. In most cases, they have no idea. In other cases, even bringing that up, people say, well, what about this? And what about the starving child? What about this? That answer is predictable. That question is predictable. So with that, I say, you explore that. You find that out, because I'm not going to tell you and try to tell you why that person is going through that, or why this situation or these people are going through it. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm not going to be the messenger of that. You research that for yourself. You study books and understand how these cause and effects come into our lives. And then when you have the answer, then you can look in the mirror and you can kill the messenger in the mirror. But I will not be that mirror, and I will not be that messenger in the mirror, because I know this trick. Based on universal law, you find that, and if you really want to know, you search it. And there's plenty of ways to search these facts and how things work. And then you look in the mirror, and you say, okay, make a decision on what is so, and if you want to ignore the facts, you can ignore the facts as well. But just because you ignore the facts doesn't mean you can ignore the consequences. It just means you won't see it coming. And when it comes, you won't know why it came. So it's better to know and prepare yourself so you could benefit from it, or brace yourself for the impact. So either way it goes, universal law is really a prime way to build your life for this new generation, for this new being, as we go into the digital, cyber, interconnected world, and we become fused and amalgamated with all this technology. You want to have a powerful upper hand on all these things going on, because I won't get too much into the technology and what's going to transform from that, but you will not be able to stop technology. You can only harmonize with it and transform with it. And now we have another entity that we're sharing this reality with. And we got to realize that this reality is now shared in different dimensions, from different layers of different entities. Just like the ant has its own world, the butterfly has its own world. To them, that's their world. To you, it's just a butterfly or an ant. But to them, this is their whole universe. So you share that universe with them, they share it with you, and so forth, all of these layers. So without going too crazy with all of that stuff, just know that knowledge is power if it's applied. So applied knowledge is power. So that is it for now. I am the Jahm Master Jedi, the curator of the Life Force Power Center, the teacher, the student master practitioner of Life Force Power Art, Jedi Realistic Arts, and so forth. Feel free to follow this and see how we evolve and grow. And you could donate now, and if you want to do that, or you could wait till we do that if we need donations. I don't even know that yet. Right now, I'm just starting this off. Maybe completely independently funded. I don't know. Just watch, and you follow your heart, you follow your truth, because I want this to be a place for those who don't have a place. People, when they get up Sunday, a lot of people have places to go to pray, to meditate, to share, to congregate with other beautiful people. And then there's other people who get up and they don't fit in to none of those places, none of those spots where they could dress like they want and meditate like they want, or practice like they want, or empower themselves like they want. They don't fit in without having to bow down to the structure of those preconceived belief systems or situations. So this is it will still be structured, but it will be a more open and powerful, independent structure that's based on you being responsible for your truth and your power, you being responsible for understanding universal law and the application of that and learning that. It'll be that way, not some deity or some belief system of punishment and this cause and effect that you got to do these steps to get to this, Not going to happen here. You get in, You get what you put out. Something like that. You get out what you put in. So either way, you know what I'm saying. So that's how universal law works. And there's no wait time. You just come, apply yourself. We'll grow together as I learn this and as I share this. We'll see how you could bring to the table your knowledge and what you've learned and so forth, either through the social media network or you're here in a physical temple or so forth. We'll share on how to apply that so you could be the most powerful superhuman you could be, the most powerful being you could be. So that should be it for now for this introduction of Life Force Power Center with the Jahm Master Jedi returning into the Earth plane. Remember, you are the power.